All right, this week, are we going to Germany?
No. Mm-mm.
No. Are we going to Japan?
No.
No. Are we going to Mother Russia?
Hell no.
No. Where else do we usually go for photography stuff? China. That's right. We're going back to China. And what are we looking at this week? It's in here. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Who was that? Brad Pitt? What's in the box?
What's in the fucking box?
Well, we'll find out what's in the box. It's a little something, obviously it's not a lens. That'd be one heck of a pancake lens. But it is used for lenses. So, I think it's pretty cool. Obviously not something not everybody needs, but it's worth still chatting about anyway. It's, give you the model number, it's LM-EA9. You can hurry up and look that up before I get to the intro. Actually, no, this is the intro.
What the fuck?
Before I get to the actual content of Camera Talk. Anyway, Dylan's at school again today, so we're doing this all alone. Well, he'll be here in spirit. So, he can't let us do one of these by ourselves. So anyway, we'll find out a little bit more about what's in the box. So grab yourself something to eat or drink. Get yourself comfortable. And let's get it on.
Here I am, Vietnam. Rain is always coming down.
This is Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and his little co-host Dylan. He was at school today, so we're doing this alone, and we'll just get through this with less interruptions. So anyway, what was that intro about anyway? What's in the box? What's in the box?
Spock.
It's a mix between Brad Pitt and William Shatner. What's in the box? Spock. Well, I'll tell you what's in the box. If we open it up, we have a piece of paper, operating instructions. It says mount adapter, operating instructions for an LM-EA9. And it says the name of the company and its email address, which is at foxmail.com. Doesn't even have an actual company email. Makes you wonder.
That's suspicious.
But everything else in here is all in Chinese. So it doesn't do me any freaking good anyway. I'll have to get my wife to translate that for me. Anyway, this is a little something made by a company. Maybe I don't even know if that's the name of the company, but it's the name of the product called TECHART. TECHART. And again, the product is LM for Leica mount. And EA9 is this adapter model. Anyway, the name of the company is Nitian. Nitian, depends on how you want to pronounce that, I guess.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Nitian Corporation. That's what it says here. But other places on here, it's Nitian Electronics Company Limited. And they're located in Guangzhou.
What the fuck is that?
Which is across the water. Hong Kong is an island, yeah? Across the water, mainland side of China is Guangzhou. That's the kind of the extension of Hong Kong anyway. A lot of manufacturing going on in that part of that part of China. So anyhow, that's what this little piece of paper is all about. Stash that over there for now. Now what's in the box? Well, we have a lid and we have a bottom plate with electronics in the bottom plate itself. Whoop-de-doo! And a USB port. And a connect button, disconnect button. So anyway, well, what the heck does that have to do with with what's in the box? Well, it's an adapter. And the adapter is actually not this. The adapter is on my Sony a7R III, and what it is, if I disconnect the lens, it is this little connector right here. And if I disconnect that, take it off of there, it is rather snug, I would say. That good old Chinese manufacturing. This is the TECHART, turn it this way, TECHART LMEA9, and what this is a version 2. That's right, version of an adapter that allows manual focus lenses to be adapted to a modern camera and being able to access the autofocus features of that modern camera.
Holy crap!
To incorporate with your manual focus lens, effectively turning it into an autofocus lens. Holy crap!
Holy crap!
That's pretty amazing, isn't it? So as I said in the intro, it's something that's kind of cool. Obviously, it's not something that's needed by everybody, but it's a cool device. This is, like I said, this is the version 2. The version 1 was the LMEA7, and that was launched in 2017, so that's been out for quite a while. But it had a big honking motor for the allowing for the autofocus down, hanging out the bottom down here. So it worked, but it could be improved, and you can get rid of that damn motor. As you can see, they did. There's no external motor on this thing. And the EA7, again, 2017, quite a while ago already, it allowed the lens or the adapter to talk to through the connections here, talk to the camera to access the AFS and AFC, single shot, continuous shot autofocus system of older, the older cameras, speaking of Sony. But anyway, that was the original model, and it allowed to use manual focus lens up to 300 grams. And over that, the motor would struggle to, move the lens back and forth effectively. So that was the original model. Now this one, the EA9, is definitely an upgrade because it has 4 servo motors around the entire adapter. So it distributes the workload much more effectively in that regard, and it allows up to 500 gram lenses to be used. Now, when they say that they're saying the best performance is going to come with 500 or lower. You can have heavier lenses on there; they're just going to operate a little slower, or you may have to hold them and kind of guide them as they're coming in and out.
I don't know why guys are so freaked out about that.
Because the way it works is internally here, once it's mounted onto the adapter itself will move back and forth, and there's a total movement of 4.5 millimeters, which is not very much, but it's still, when it comes to a lens moving that far, it makes a big difference with the
My memory is fine.
focus. Whoop, word right out of my head. And it has 3-axis stabilization. So again, it holds it quite well in that regard. But all that extension, that 4.5 millimeter, is happening internally too. So this doesn't actually get any bigger than what it is. And again, that's pretty cool, right? So it uses, again, on the camera itself, you know, the autofocus system on this is an A7R3. So the autofocus system here uses phase detect, you know, PDAF phase detect, and so it accesses that. And with this model here, the EA9, instead of just autofocus single and autofocus continuous, it also accesses face autofocus and eye autofocus.
Holy shit.
So again, pretty cool in that regard. So here I have a Summicron R 90 millimeter f2. Now this is heavier 500, I do believe. Feels pretty heavy.
How big is it?
So I have, I have an ND filter on here, something which doesn't really matter, but just to show you, again, in action, what it looks like. And I use, let's see, so we'll go this way, just so you can see. Now, we'll go this way. See? Look at that. Did you see how it moved? It's hunting for something to focus on, because there's a white cabinet over here. This way. And basically, if you want things far away, you have to put the focus on infinity. And again, now it will, see right there, it focused on the sofa in the living room, which you can't see, but it's probably 15 meters from here, and it focused in on it without any problem whatsoever. So again, it's pretty cool.
That's incredible.
Focusing something shorter, I would bring it to, let's say 3 meters, and less to give it that room. And voila, it focused in on the on the camera on my Canon M50 without any issue too. So it's again, it's pretty cool. It's, as I said, it's not something that you're going to have to need or anything for your photography. I mean, I'm still quite happy using manual focus, you know, especially with my old vintage lenses. It's a nice experience. It slows things down. And, you know, obviously, if I'm going to be shooting, you know, sports and race cars and Dylan running around like a little maniac, it's going to be tough to catch that manual focus. But even this, you know, again, this is not exactly a speed demon when it comes to autofocus either, so that's not even going to help. So you're going to have to, you know, if I do want to catch them on that, I'm going to have to use my Sony lenses or my Sigmas or whatever to make use of that autofocus and catch him at faster speeds. Anyway, so as I just said, using various adapters, you can, you know, since that was a Leica lens, I can also use, I have a M42, which is a screw mount. Everybody knows that, right?
That's the fact, Jack.
M42 to LM. So I can mount this on my Sony as well. And let's see, getting in. Let me get in here. And again, boom, it just nailed focus on the camera. That's pretty cool. And you can set your aperture for whatever you like. And again, the range, setting the focus, if you want things far away, set it on infinity. If you're gonna want things close up, because remember it only moves at 4.5 millimeters. If you're going to be shooting things closer, like the distance from me to the camera, I would set that up at 3 meters, just because it's less. I mean, the camera's only 2 meters away from me, so it's gonna, boom, it's gonna travel a lot less. Focusing in on different things around the room, it catches it very quickly. So that's pretty cool, being able to, again, use things that are older than me and use them as an autofocus, as a modern lens. That's pretty cool, to do so. So with that said, so that's with the adapters, and even without, again, take this off. So these both have, adapters on them. I could take just a straight up Leica lens with a Leica mount, and plug that on there. And same thing. I have it wide open. I have it set at 3 meters or so. Turn that on, and boom, just nails focus just like that. A lot faster than me, setting the focus manually. So again, it's cool. It's not a necessity, but it's cool. And I like cool things.
You're a real boring fuck.
So anyway, can I recommend that? Sure.
Yes.
Is it something you're going to need? No. But again, it's something that's cool, and something that's going to be usable in certain circumstances. For me, again, I like, I'm into portraiture. So I'm going to get you some shots of Dylan to show you some samples, since he's my favorite go-to model. And if you want metadata, it's the other thing too with using this adapter. If you want the metadata, the EXIF, data on your photos when you're editing them later, you may have used 4 or 5 different lenses. You're not sure what you've used. You have 2 options. One, you can use this tiny little booklet here and turn to where's our other page on here? Turn to page number
She said.
and you'll see at the very bottom here, and get you more of a close-up on that. The very, very bottom of this right here is the again, it's the little chart that you're going to have to use, or you can just go to TECHART.com and look up the chart on their website. Yeah. But basically, if you're like this is a 90 millimeter, so if I want to capture the fact that I'm using a 90 millimeter on here, I would have to set the camera at f14, take a picture with the camera set at f14, and then once it has that picture, then you have to set it back to f2. It's one thing I didn't mention yet. Doesn't matter whether you're using the metadata or not. Every single lens that you have on here on the camera, you have to go into aperture priority and set it to f2. The aperture on your lens can be set at whatever you want, but if you want proper exposure, the TECHART adapter is reading this as f2. So you need f2 on there.
Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Are we clear?
Crystal.
But to get whatever metadata on there, you know, if you're using a 135 millimeter, you're gonna have to set it to f16. If you're using a 50 millimeter, you're gonna have to set it to f8. So for my Summilux, I would have to set that to f8, take a picture, set it back to f2, and fire away, and all those photos will read 50 millimeter. What else can I tell you? They don't have any in-betweeners. So like a 58 millimeter, you would have to set that at 60, you know, so that'd be an f9. You know, the things like the Nikon 105, they don't have one of those. Or the Topcore 100, they don't have one of those. So you're going to have to choose, is it a 90 or is it a 135? You have to swing it, you have to swing it out that way. So anyhow, so your longer lenses are going to be the ones that give you some challenge.
So many different sizes.
But from 12 millimeter, and it goes all the way up to 800 millimeter, it has this little chart to tell you what to set your camera to on the f-stop. Take a picture, and then set it to f2, and you're good to go. So just remember that. Now, if you want to make sure your adapter is up to date with the latest firmware updates, again, you have to place your adapter into this bottom plate, you know, lock it in there, and then use a USB adapter to plug in. And you know, you download the software or the update from the website, and it will upload into your adapter, and again update all your information. So other than that, I think that was all. And these things are all metal and everything, so everything's built to last anyway. So we'll see how long that lasts. It is made in China. Hey, nothing against the Chinese though. My wife's Chinese heritage.
So, fat woman, are you the boss around here or what?
Fat woman, my ass!
So anyway, other than that, I think that was. Oh no, there's one more other thing I wanted to tell you as well. The close focus. You know, with each lens, like say my Summilux here, it's a rangefinder, so its minimum focus is 70 centimeters. Now, if you put this on your TECHART adapter, it's already, again, extending it away from the sensor a little bit farther. So it's pushing, you know, it's pushing beyond what that limitation is on this. And if you, again, refocus with this, with the lens itself, while it's on the adapter, not only are you getting a shorter minimum focus distance, but you can get like much shorter. Again, 70 centimeter, you know, out to here, you can bring that in like literally half of that distance, which again, for portraiture and for, you know, getting close-ups, obviously it's not a macro solution. You can use extension tubes too and get even closer, but still, just using this alone is going to half the distance that you started with. So other than that, I think now that was everything I wanted to cover.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I think so. All right. So, can I recommend it? Yes. Is it for everybody? No, for a couple of reasons. One, you know, again, it's not the fastest moving thing in the world. You know, it does the job, and it only focuses in the center part of the, your focus area that you're looking at, and it'll only focus in on the closer to the center. And it's not all that cheap. It's roughly almost $400 US.
Get the fuck out of here.
So it's not a cheap piece of gear. But again, for the tricks that it does, the bang for the buck, I could kind of justify this. It's almost like buying another lens.
What? No.
Do I have many lenses? Yeah. I could probably trade one in for the same price as this. And anyway, so can I recommend it? Sure. Is it for everybody? No. Is it a necessity? No. But it's a cool little bit of gear. And if you're a gearhead and you like cool, trinky things, then it's worth getting. Anyhow, I think that's all I'm going to talk about with that. So how about our little plug for the photo editing software that I use, which is Luminar. That's right, Luminar Neo is their latest, greatest. It's the one I have. And the reason I like it so much is because it's full of AI, full of something.
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
And that AI really just helps speed up your workflow. I mean, for those who like to sit there and nitpick on each photo for 6 hours at a time, good for you. I don't really like spending a whole lot of time on the photo, so it's nice to click, 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 slide here, slide there, but I'm done after that. And then you can save those settings that you just did for the next couple photos if this is the same subject and whatever else, just duplicate it. Anyway, it has some pretty cool stuff like spot and dust removal, because a dirty sensor leaves spots and dust on the sensor that can show up in certain circumstances, such as, if you're down at the beach and taking some photos of some hot babes. Yay! And you get home and your wife says, "Hey, Dylan told me you were taking pictures of hot babes. Let me see those." And you show her the hot babes. And she's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I thought you meant hot babes." Anyway, but you look in the background and you see seagulls flying about, and there's some other things in the mix too that look like little spots, and you're like, what the heck are those? Oh. Well, what they are is the result of a dirty sensor, right? You've been taking your lenses on and off, on and off, on and off, and enough stuff has gotten in there, and it shows up in the sky of your picture. And well, Luminar has a button in the erase feature called spot and dust removal. And what it does is it will analyze your photo. It recognizes the difference between those spots and the seagulls, and it takes the dots away and leaves the seagulls alone. The birds. And that's pretty cool, that you can do that. Hey, why not, right? It also does it with power line removal. It's the next button down, power line removal. Same thing, you're out there taking photos of some cool house or an old building, and you get home and you take a look at it and it doesn't look so cool because at the time you were taking photos, you were so enamored with the building that you didn't notice all these power lines going everywhere. So it kind of ruined the photo. It's like, oh man. Well, it has power line removal. You click on that, same thing, it'll analyze the photo, recognize the power lines, and remove them for you. Now, that's pretty cool, right? Now, it doesn't do a perfect job. You may have to go in and clean up a little here and there, unless it's just a single power line somewhere. It takes it out pretty easily. But when it's mixed in with other straight lines and things like that, AI, it's not exactly the perfect science yet. It will be someday when it takes over the world and we're all doomed.
Hasta la vista, baby.
But until that happens, AI is kind of cool. So anyway, it has It has sky replacement. So if you've got a dull, boring sky and you want to put in some cool, funky clouds and blue sky and all the thing, it can do it. It can take away your background removal. Same thing, you've got some fugly looking background and you want to replace it with something nice, it'll do that for you. Scene relighting, you know, if the light's coming kind of on the wrong angle, you can subtly shift it a little bit to one side. That's kind of cool. And many other kinds of AI features as well. But one of the other cool things about this software too is it's economical. It's not super expensive. You have a couple buying options. You can either, you know, do like Lightroom and everybody else and, you know, do monthly subscriptions for things. Or you could do like I do and just buy it outright and then it's yours for life. You know, it's like $100. It's yours. So if you click on the link in the description below, it'll take you to Skylum. It's not Skynet, Skylum. And it will deduct $10 off of your purchase price, and hey, you save $10, right? Now, what does it do with that $10?
Talk it up, man.
Well, besides that, it gives it to me so that I could do that with the $10. But anyhow, so it's worth it. And also the other thing too is you're supporting a company that's in Ukraine, and everyone knows what's going on there at the moment. So they're out there producing this cool stuff and upgrading and improving on it all the time, sending out free upgrades and releases for things, all the while getting bombed and threatened to be overrun by the Vlads. So anyway, that's doing a good thing for them. Other than that, how about you help expose the channel to other YouTubers out there? And how can you do that? Well, how about you subscribe? And how does that help? Well, you would have to do it again. Subscribe. Oh, well, that probably helps, right? Well, of course, that just helps the algorithm. So, subscribe. That's right. And what else does YouTube like for their algorithm besides subscribers? Well, and besides that, everybody likes that. They like the thumbs up.
That's how you use it.
So you give us a thumbs up and we'll give you a little taste of Dylan's favorite girls, the Thumbs Up Girls. I don't know the name of their band or their tune, but it goes something like this. Thumbs up, do 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 do, thumbs up. All right, aren't they cute, yeah? So, other than that, what else can I say? Well, who are we? Well, I'm Dr. Scott. He's Dylan.
Here's Johnny.
And together we're all Modesty Photography. We're here to talk about tips and tricks about photography, vintage lenses, vintage cameras, camera systems, camera stuff, photography stuff. I mean, hey, we talked about adapters today, right? So, hey, we'll talk about anything. So, if you want something specific, leave a suggestion in the comments below. Besides, you should give up doing YouTube videos, or you suck.
It actually really, really sucks.
Stuff like that. Avoid that kind of stuff. So leave a comment in the comment field and we'll see what we can do about it. And other than that, well, why don't you come back next week? And why should you come back next week? Because we do one of these every single week.
I can't lie!
Well, we try to anyway, every Friday, and that's Friday Vietnam time, right? So that could be the day before you, the day after you, or the same day as you. It just depends on where you are in the world and what funky time warp you're in. So other than that, I could say thank you for dropping by. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for buying a copy of Luminar through our link. And thank you for just being you. And why does that matter? Because you belong here. That's right. And where do you belong? Well, what's the name of the show? This was Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and his co-host Dylan, who's not here. But anyway, so again, thanks for everything. Hope you have a beautiful day, beautiful week. Just keep being beautiful, and we'll see you on the rebound. All right, you're free to go. So bye-bye.
Here I am,